Chapter 81. The Jun family wants to take advantage of the situation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Emperor Xia immediately mobilized all the royal family's resources, to deal with the possible crisis of extinction. Recall the powerful princes and princes of the royal family, and those at the Saint Realm level must return to the capital in the shortest time. The clan protection formations rose from all directions. 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside, guarding the palace layer by layer. Mobilize the army, guard the 4 directions, and enter a state of alert for the whole city. The powerful monsters raised by the royal family were released from the cage, and the whole city was in turmoil. At the same time, people were sent to ask for help from other top forces. It was unclear whether it would work. At this time, the probability was not good. He knew this truth very well, but it was a hope after all. There was no other way. The peak Xia dynasty only took a very short time to get rid of the sad state of the whole city. Emperor Xia was really desperate. You can be as strong as you want, but my Xia family has accumulated endless years of heritage, so no one can have an easy life. That the new emperor, the ancestor of the Chen family, is too out of control. Everything is unreasonable and not a fixed number. But the family heritage and resources can be used for defense. He doesn't believe that a small family that suddenly appeared can break the heritage power accumulated by their royal family for endless years. You can't just throw it away. In this way, the strong man sent by the Gu Jun family to pick up Jun Hongzhao was wiped out, and suddenly he was involved. Jun Jiudao, the head of the family, was furious. This Chen family. How rampant, that their Jun family had already avoided the Chen family, so they didn't want to offend them directly. They just sent the Saint Realm strongman to go there, detour around the edge, and act according to the situation. I didn't expect the Chen family to not hand over people. They even directly killed their Jun family strongman. This is nothing short of a provocation, disregarding the position of the Jun family. It's simply too arrogant. The old ancestor next to him said in a deep tone, "Father, there is only one possibility in this situation. The old ancestor of Xia may never come back. And the Chen family dared to kill without scruples. As long as the other party is not stupid, they must know what their Jun family means and secretly put pressure on Xia, but they are not afraid of their 2 top forces at all, so it must be that one of the top forces has changed. In this case, it can only be a problem of the Xia dynasty. Under such a premise, it is reasonable for the old ancestor of the Chen family to dare to settle accounts in person." Hearing this, Jun Jiudao's eyes flickered. Who is the old ancestor of the Chen family? He actually has the ability to kill the old ancestor of Xia. Everything happened too quickly. Unless the news is seen with one's own eyes, Xia will not spread it wantonly. After all, it is not something that can be seen by others. At this point, there is only one possibility. But how could it be? The Xia dynasty is full of veteran emperors, who are definitely not comparable to the 9 profound emperor. No matter how powerful the Chen family ancestor is, he is the new emperor. How could he let the Xia ancestor go without returning? How strong is he? This is something they did not expect at all. Not only did they take advantage of the fire to rob, but they also lost a strong man. At this time, a guard came in to report, "Father, the Xia dynasty has begun to defend in an all-round way. Go down." Jun Jiudao then looked at the ancestor. Of course, the Xia dynasty's actions could not escape the eyes of their Jun family. Needless to say, they were afraid that the Chen family would retaliate against the Jin family. It was a joke. No one expected this result. "Ancestor, it seems that there is nothing wrong, otherwise, Xia wouldn't have acted like this suddenly." The expression became solemn. In this way, Xia lost its value to their Jun family, and it seemed that it didn't matter whether Jun Hongzhao was accepted or not. The ancestor of the Jun family nodded, and then he was silent. "Father, no matter what the relationship is between the ancestor of the Chen family, it seems that his strength must be strong. At least he has the combat power of the 5th level of the Emperor realm. And this must not be a good thing." The expression was meaningful. There are no eternal friends, only eternal interests. Jun Jiudao instantly understood what the ancestor meant. Indeed. If the ancestor of Xia falls, Xia will be empty. In this way, Other forces will certainly be eyeing it and want to have a piece of the pie. And my Jun family is already related to Xia. As long as we use this matter to force the Emperor of Xia and let Jun Hongzhao take the opportunity to ascend the throne, the whole Xia will be affiliated with my Jun family, and the power will be doubled. That the meaning is very clear. If a deal is reached, the Jun family has the strength to help Xia resist the covetous eyes of other families. After all, Xia just lacks top power, and the real royal family foundation is still there, which is also capital. Just support the Emperor of Xia as a puppet. In this way, the biggest beneficiary is the Jun family. It is different from their previous purpose of sending Jun Hongzhao to be the little queen, but the process has changed, plans cannot keep up with changes. The ancestor of the Jun family nodded. But the Chen family will not be willing to hand over Jun Hongzhao. Jun Jiudao was a little angry. The Jun family, taking such a detour, ran away. Can you believe it? Moreover, it must be Jun Hongzhao, because this is the legitimate queen, and it has been established for a long time, and everyone knows it. If it is not legitimate now, there is no reason to give Emperor Xia a queen. Xia, it is impossible not to know this. Emperor Xia will definitely not be happy. They can think of it, other forces will not be unable to think of it, especially the Chen family, who will not want to see it, and the surprise of this plan is given to them by the Chen family, which can really shake Xia's foundation. But it is the Chen family that strangles the bud. Family, it is not clear whether the Chen family will hand over the person, but we still have a chance. The ancestor of the Jun family reminded, it is said that wealth and honor are dangerous. Take advantage of the chaos and rob. Jun Jiudao seemed to have thought of something. You mean, while the ancestor of the Chen family may go to avenge Xia, my Jun family will go directly to the Chen family. As long as we take advantage of the emptiness of the Chen family and get the Chen family's handle, we can trade back Jun Hongzhao, and even save Xia. Of course, it depends on whether this handle is strong enough. That's right. Now it seems that doing so is extremely risky, but if it succeeds. The meaning of the words of the ancestor of the Jun family is very clear. The risk is that no one expected that the ancestor of the Chen family has such a terrifying strength. But as long as it succeeds, the Jun family will surely become stronger. Swallow Xia alone. Compared with the previous plan, the result is countless times more tempting. Jun Jiudao is solemn again. It seems that this is the only way. Can't hesitate. First, the Chen family has just been established, and it is so arrogant. What will happen in the future? Although it is true, they do not want to see another family surpass them or even step on their heads. Second, they cannot easily lose face by killing the strong men of their Jun family, otherwise the ancient Jun family will eventually make others laugh. Since there are signs of enemies because of the previous incident, they cannot be lenient. In this way, even if the risk is extremely high, it is worth giving it a try. What's more, there are many emperors in their Jun family. One emperor is at the 5th level, 2 emperors are at the 3rd level, and 3 emperors are at the 2nd level. The overall strength is similar to that of Xia. After all, emperors have strengths and weaknesses. The difference is that one is a dynasty, composed of countless small families, with a large number of people, more saints, and terrifying appeal. The other is just a super family that broke away. Then, several emperor-level ancestors of the Jun family all went out. Go to the Chen family and do something. You can only succeed, not fail. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 82. It's finally someone else's turn to guard the house. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 82. It's finally someone else's turn to defend the house. Xia Dynasty. The Emperor Qilin was unstoppable, breaking through the layers of defense of the royal family, treating everything as nothing, and easily stepped into the land of the Xia Dynasty, responsible for clearing the way ahead. Chen Fan and Qiao Great Emperor Jun Hongzhao stood on the star battleship, scanning everything. Without the Emperor Realm powerhouse to stop them, the other powerhouses were just a matter of being able to kill quickly enough. At most, they would waste a little time. unless there were dozens or hundreds of Saint Realm powerhouses united together, they might still cause trouble to them, of course, that was all, because they could completely bypass it, and without fighting, the other party would also hold them. Even so, it was obviously possible, and Chen Fan did not intend to give the Daxia dynasty a chance to breathe and time to gather powerhouses. Kill directly. There are countless powerful people in the royal family, but unfortunately, they cannot gather together so quickly, which means they are no threat and useless. As for the countless soldiers, they are their targets at all, and they can choose to ignore them. It is impossible to stop them. They also come for killing. Soon, they have reached their destination, the capital of Daxia, the palace. The Emperor of Daxia saw a spiritual weapon like a warship appear in the world. The Emperor's power was released, and his momentum burst out. It was like seeing an enemy. His eyes were red. He knew that the ancestor of the Chen family was coming. There was no doubt that there would be others, holding the Emperor's sword. Finally, it's here. That he had expected it long ago and was already frantically preparing to meet the enemy. But the other party is still too fast. It has been more than an hour since the two ancestors of Daxia fell, right? It is simply too much. And the other powerful people of the royal family can't gather in the palace in a short time, because Daxia is a huge area. It may take half an hour for the princes who are close, and it will take several hours even if there are spiritual tools for transportation. He knows that it is all the credit of the other party's terrifying spiritual tools. Or the Emperor realm power. As for asking other forces for help from the emperors, that is not possible. Daxia has lost the Emperor ancestors, and no one is willing to take risks, because the Emperor realm power is much more important than the general foundation. And the other powerful people of the royal family, whether they are princes and princes, royal relatives, or princes and princes, are all as if they are facing a great enemy, with terrified faces. It's ridiculous. The other side is just a warship, with only a few people. Let them force Daxia into such a situation. They didn't react at all. This is the fall of the top powerhouse, causing a terrifying blow, and the defense has flaws and loopholes. Soon, the warship approached. The Emperor of Daxia was wearing a golden dragon robe, flying in the air, with the Emperor's sword facing him, majestic and unparalleled. He was in the formation to protect the family. He roared, "Chen family, beheaded my Daxia ancestor, and dared to invade my Daxia territory and approach the palace." This hatred is shared by all. To boost morale, there is no right or wrong, only the difference between strong and weak. As long as they survive this time, relying on Daxia's foundation, they will definitely make the Chen family pay a heavy price. Of course, he was also stupid. Before he was sure whether the other party was injured by their Daxia ancestor, he might run out and fight the other party directly. When dealing with an emperor-level strongman, or someone stronger than him, you can be a little careless. And Chen Fan stood on the warship with his hands behind his back, looking down at you. Even if you are an emperor, you have to be looked down upon by him. Daxia, you are responsible for your own mistakes, and you can't blame others. He also understood the reason, but he still had to say the lines. After all, it was finally someone else's turn to guard the house. It was not easy, because guarding the house was not happy, but painful on the contrary. Then, looking at the defensive formation in front of him, he casually tried and hit it with a palm. Rumble, the collision of forces shook the space violently, but it did not break. The emperor-level defensive formation is of good quality. It seems that the royal family's foundation is still very strong. This point must be admitted. Foundation is in all aspects, and being strong is only one of them. If the core of the great Xia royal family is wiped out now, there will be endless troubles in the future. The great Xia emperor saw Chen Fan take action and stood on top of him. He was furious but could do nothing, but as expected, the Chen family ancestor was as young as the legend said. He knew exactly how young he was. Chen family ancestor, my royal family has countless foundations. How can you break the formation at will? That the dignified emperor, shrinking, still in his own nest, his face was also hot, extremely aggrieved, but he had no choice, not to mention that the other party is very likely to have the power of the law, as well as Emperor Qiyao, another strange woman and an Emperor beast Qilin. Let's talk about why the other party can control the law so quickly. Anyway, he will not get out easily. Really? Chen Fan sneered, and immediately flew into the air, the supreme bone, the Chaos God Emperor palm, a peak attack, directly slapped into the formation. Break. Boom, the terrifying power vibrated, the might of the Emperor. At the same time, the law of time was triggered, the formation consumes power. Once the law is released, it is like temporarily cutting off the energy supply of the formation. In this way, it is a weakness. The royal family members were horrified. The might of the Emperor of Daxia was also sure that he was no match for the ancestor of the Chen family. It's okay to admit it, the opponent's power has no signs of injury at all. How is it possible? But how can he show off his prestige and boost the morale of others? Only he, the great emperor, can stand up at this time. Go into battle in person, drive and kiss on the spot, guard the house. My royal formation is an imperial formation. How can I break it at will? Boom, the formation was shattered into pieces, and the defensive energy was gone. The Emperor of Daxia was so shocked that he took 3 steps back to stabilize his body. The rest of the royal family began to tremble. The imperial formation is so broken. Stupid, they are powerful emperors like His Majesty. Even if the most powerful person at the peak of the Holy Realm is here, he can talk a lot, and even feel that if he comes up to him, he will be shot to death casually. Fortunately, the Daxia royal family still has formations to protect them. Surprise, surprise, surprise. There are also formations. Chen Fan was not surprised. To describe this palace as having 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside is an exaggeration. Emperor Qia watched silently. After this time, Yuan was afraid that he would retreat behind the scenes and could steal his limelight. It's true that she can break the formation. Jun Hongzhao felt a little emotional. The man in the formation, according to the original, was probably her future pillow, but now he was in such a mess. Break the formation with force. The Emperor of Daxia couldn't believe it. How could the ancestor of the Chen family be so strong? The imperial formation can be smashed into pieces. And just now, that's the law. He could sense a mysterious force that cut off the energy supply of the formation. At this time, it is a matter of being able to keep the other person. If the plan has changed, it would be wrong to keep the other person away. He shouted angrily, "Ancestor of the Chen family, I want to see how many layers you can break through." That there is a time when the great emperor's power is exhausted. As long as they hold on, the ancestors of the Chen family will naturally leave. As you wish. Chen Fan was too lazy to talk nonsense. This was the first time he had seen someone guarding the house, and he was happy to do so. Then with a wave of his hand, countless strong men appeared on the ground. Astonishingly, they are all holy puppets. Cultivation levels range from the first level of the Holy Realm to the peak of the Holy Realm. There are strong and weak. Such a scene is shocking. Everyone is stupid. Emperor Qia was not surprised. She had seen him before, but Jun Hongzhao was confused. There were so many of them, and they all seemed quite powerful. How exactly could she detect them based on her level? The Emperor of Daxia looked at the densely packed presence outside the formation, and his expression froze, extremely ugly. How is it possible? The voice was hoarse. The heads of the powerful royal family and others were numb, as if they were firmly locked by the terrifying existence. How many of them were there? Chen Fan shouted. Break the formation. Chapter 83 The Power of 3,000 Holy Realm Puppets, that is the Little Queen. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suddenly, 3,000 Saint Realm puppets directly and frantically attacked the Daxia defensive formation. From all directions, it was overwhelming and overwhelming. Such an exaggerated scene was as if this place had violated the heavenly rules, like purgatory, which was simply unheard of, and their combined strength was enough to make several great emperors retreat and dare not face the sharp edge. After all, 1 + 1 is equal to 2, what's more important is that they are afraid of death. This is also Chen Fan's biggest reliance now. Of course, if facing a real emperor, the other party will run away, and it is almost impossible to stop him. After all, puppets are living people, but the deterrent effect is enough to walk sideways. Boom, with just one round of attack, another layer of the formation of the Daxia royal family was instantly shattered and disintegrated. This is the energy supply of the formation, which can fully withstand the combined power of 3,000 saints, and was forcibly shattered. It was caused by pure power. Broken again. The royal family was shocked. My God, so many saints. Even if the saints of the entire Daxia area were gathered together, there would not be so many. Who is this Chen family ancestor who can grow to such a level so quickly? Everyone was shocked. The face of the Daxia emperor began to turn pale. Too much bullying. Quick, protect the emperor. Consuming the Chen family ancestor is a fart. He doesn't even need to do it himself, so sooner or later, he will be broken through layer by layer. Hearing that the saints in the royal family came forward one after another, they flew up and began to set up the killing array in advance. Only if they join forces can they threaten the emperor. The other party will not have an easy time. At the same time, all kinds of top-grade imperial elixirs were brought in. The imperial elixir was very spiritual, and the imperial elixir could even burst out with terrifying power and extremely poisonous, which was better to defend than to defend. Various precious herbs were also brought in, and even a tree was moved in. Don't underestimate this demon tree. It can also launch destructive offensiveness and protect one side. Various holy instruments were activated, and there was no regret for resources and power. At this time, resources were used to save lives. Skills are like people, but the foundation can prolong life. Chen Fan glanced at it. This kind of attack is to consume the royal family, force the royal family's methods to the surface, and eliminate some hidden dangers and hidden threats. After all, in terms of foundation, he has never doubted the top forces. Don't think that the emperor is the peak of the ancient times, and there will be no shortage of things that can threaten the emperor. Similarly, the emperor realm is just the most direct way of dealing with it, and all kinds of weird means and rare treasures are only what you can think of, and they don't exist. This can be understood as the top-level equipment. If the strength is enough, the powerful equipment will make up for it. In order to prevent the Qilin of Emperor Qi Yao from being injured, it is worth it even if some holy realm puppets are lost. Then, his eyes were on the tree. The eternal demon tree king is said to have a psychedelic effect, and it is no problem to kill the emperor above the 5th level of the emperor realm. The royal family has very few hidden things, and every top force is not simple. Without an emperor, there is one thing that can replace an emperor in a short time and protect the foundation. The Qi Yao emperor next to him watched silently. To deal with such a huge monster as the royal family, even if the royal family did not have 2 emperor ancestors, she did not have the courage to come alone with Xuanhuan. The threat of death only came from the same level of strong people. She still understood. Chen family ancestor, you should spare others when you can. The emperor of Daxia was completely scared. Even if there is the eternal demon tree king, it can only release one attack. But Chen Fan brought so many people, vomiting blood, and hitting with his head. It's just a matter of time. Not to mention, with such a terrible consumption, not only Daxia lost strong people, but also the foundation power was broken. The foundation will be completely shattered. Chen Fan ignored it. He expressed sympathy for the emperor's despair of personally leading the army to defend his family, but he would not show a trace of pity. Seeing Chen Fan ignore him, the great emperor of Daxia was furious. Calm down, don't panic. Immediately looked at the strange woman in front of him. You are a member of the Jun family. At this time, he hoped that the Jun family would stop, but the Jun family was not a wolf watching, and it was too late to say anything. This woman's cultivation is very weak, but the Chen family's ancestor brought her here, and he thought of a possibility. Jun Hongzhao looked at Chen Fan, and after getting the promise, he looked directly at the great Xia emperor and said, I am Jun Hongzhao of the Jun family. I am also the great emperor's maid. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. Daxia is destroyed. Her choice is correct. Of course she will also be destroyed. And now, she can only break off relations with Daxia and return to the Jun family. As for the purpose of her coming, revenge in person is possible. You can only see it in person. By the way, draw a clear line in person, so that the Jun family can use this to make things difficult for her in the future. Chen Fan instantly understood Jun Hongzhao's deeper intentions. A little bit of thought. That's right. If you don't have any thoughts, you will probably live in the palace for 3 days. That's right. Why do I feel more and more like a broken engagement? It's the little queen. Why did she run to the Chen family camp? The royal family was confused, because many people didn't know about it at all, but they were not unfamiliar with this name, Puff. The emperor of Daxia was so angry that he vomited blood on the spot. Jun Hongzhao, do you want to die? It was indeed her. He had never seen his little queen, but he didn't expect her to be so beautiful and run to be a maid. The dignity of a generation of emperors was trampled back and forth. You should ask, why do you humiliate yourself? Humiliation upon humiliation. Boom, at this time, the 3,000 Saint Realm puppets were unstoppable. Under the human sea tactics, the defense of the royal formation was broken layer by layer. Your Majesty, break it. The royal family's strong men were all frozen. Without the formation, they faced the feeling of facing the 3,000 Saint Realm strong men directly. The terrible breath that came to their faces was unforgettable. Because this was despair and suffocation, no matter how many background and means, they seemed powerless. The rest was just a matter of time. Hold it for me. The great Xia Emperor was furious, but he didn't care about it. All kinds of means were directly confronted, consuming resources and background, and it was completely distressing. There was no way to feel distressed. Die. Then he said and killed Jun Hongzhao. At this time, he could die, but he couldn't stop him, but he couldn't lose his dignity. Jun Hongzhao must die. Break the jar. At the same time, Chen Fan moved. Without the formation defense, the rest is just this, the law of time. It filled the space instantly. Everyone was unable to move on the spot. Only when you are in it, you will know how terrifying the Chen family ancestor is. Then, Chen Fan smashed the great Xia Emperor with a palm, and fell after a face-to-face. The next second, he went to deal with the eternal demon tree emperor. Because the great Xia Emperor was just an ant to him, the eternal demon tree emperor was a threat. Lol. This was the last words of the great Xia Emperor. Only when you really face it, you will know how ridiculous the great Xia foundation is in front of the 3,000 saints. And he is so fragile. Their great Xia ancestors did not hurt the Chen family ancestor. Your Majesty, collapse. The royal family members did not respond, and the 3,000 saints rushed forward. No matter what means the other party used, more people will do things better, and they can break one. There is no reason for a group fight. Emperor Qi Yao and Emperor Qilin also rushed in. Affected by the law of time, the terrifying aura of the eternal demon tree king was obviously delayed a little, but it still swept, and everyone in it had a wild look on their faces. Supreme Bone, Xuanhuan Divine Emperor Palm. Boom, Chen Fan hit with all his strength and killed a tree. This move was to protect his teammates. Although he was caught off guard, he was willing to bear the possible losses. Fortunately, I didn't consume my strength in breaking the formation. The power of the eternal demon tree king's explosion was inferior to that of a strong man in the 5th level of the emperor realm. Time passed slowly, the great Xia palace was broken, and a threat was eliminated. All the resources and wealth that could be taken away were taken away by the star battleship. Ding, destroy the fate of the great Xia dynasty, strengthen the fate of the family. Congratulations to the host for winning the reward, Hongmeng Divine Tree. At this moment, around the huge city of the Chen family in Tianyuan domain, several emperor-level masters of the Jun family have arrived. Looking at each other, they already know that the ancestor of the Chen family is here, and the guardian. Beast Qilin is also here. Go to the great Xia palace. Steal the house. The opportunity can be lost, and we must be decisive. Otherwise, if the great Xia palace really falls, they will be tantamount to drawing water with a bamboo basket. We must do it as soon as possible. Chapter 84, The Jun Family Ancestors Who Doubted Their Lives. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 84 The Jun Family's Suspicious Ancestors. The Jun family has a full number of Emperor Realm ancestors, and one is responsible for guarding the family. This shows how much they value the Chen family's ancestors. After all, they can kill a powerful person of the great Xia dynasty's Emperor Realm, so how dare they be careless? Failure means death and no trouble. Of course, the same is true for failure. The more powerful people are dispatched, the greater the benefits, and the higher the level of seeking wealth and honor in danger. The first ancestor of the Jun family said in a deep voice, the great Xia palace will definitely not be easily breached, and the foundation of the royal family is definitely not something that can be shaken at will by a powerful person of the emperor realm. Take this opportunity, before the Chen family's ancestors return, all the ancestors, let's work together to break this city defense formation first. The Jun family was in Beidazu, and when they came here, they suddenly realized the horror of the rich spiritual energy here. Could it be the Emperor Crystal Vein? This is an unexpected surprise. Digging out the Emperor Crystal Vein can definitely coerce the Chen family's ancestors, but they want to keep it for themselves. Because the Jun family doesn't have the Emperor Crystal Vein either, other Jun family ancestors also have the same idea, plundering resources. And the countless years of Daxia's foundation, even if the Emperor Realm ancestor fell, it is definitely not something that can be easily shaken by the Chen family. They dare not say so. Therefore, they will do it now, that is, to use the previous bond between Jun Hongzhao and increase the family's interests in a roundabout way. But just in case, don't be careless. The next moment, the Emperor Realm powerhouses joined forces to force the heaven and earth, which shows that they have no intention of showing mercy and wasting time, at the Chen family. The legendary Divine Crystal Vein. Bai Fengrong and her daughter are particularly capable, eat and drink well at the Chen family, take a walk together, read books together, and do whatever they want. Of course, it was not excessive. However, she found that there were not only a variety of powerful resources here, but also a divine crystal vein. Yes, mother, it is a divine crystal vein, the master said so. Bai Fengyao said with a smile. Bai Fengrong was extremely shocked. Don't ask why, because her cultivation has reached a bottleneck. Now she uses the essence of the ancestral phoenix. If she doesn't have a divine crystal vein, she can live here for tens of thousands of years and break through the peak of the Emperor realm. Glancing at her daughter, sister, are you sure it's what your master said, that the divine crystal vein is just a legend? I didn't expect that her master actually had it here. I don't feel like going back too early. I must leave her here, cultivate my mind and cultivate my character. The most important thing is to be in a good mood. By the way, accompany my daughter to study. It's really for other reasons. Yeah. Mother, the master said so. Bai Fengyao was confused, and she didn't know what was wrong with her mother's nerves, and she had to call her sister, but she was used to hearing it. Bai Fengrong was a little curious. Her master came here in a mysterious way. Suddenly, she noticed something unusual outside the city, and her pretty face turned cold. Mom, what's wrong? Bai Fengyao had just finished speaking when she found herself being controlled and taken away by her own mother. At this moment, outside the city, the Jun family ancestors took action one after another, and the momentum of joining forces was like destroying the world. Zhou Xingling crawled away when he sensed this breath. Boom. However, soon their faces became solemn. They were afraid that the Chen family ancestors were not here, and there was no threat here. But, they joined forces and couldn't break the Chen family's city defense formation for a while. What level of defense formation is this, so terrifying? Logically speaking, even if it was a top-level emperor-level formation, they would definitely be able to find a flaw if they joined forces, and it must be broken. However, now the formation is not moving at all. Can you believe it? This formation is probably based on the Emperor Crystal Vein as the core of power, and the energy is huge. If we join forces again, we will definitely be able to create a crack. Okay, let's attack together. They didn't want to waste time. Now that this accident has occurred, they have been caught off guard. There is no choice but to break the formation as soon as possible, to avoid losing control. It was also at this time. Okay, strong man. Retreat quickly. The first ancestor of the Jun family was the most powerful. He noticed the sudden coldness and his face changed wildly. The other ancestors heard it and dodged without saying a word, because they also felt it, cold, the extreme coldness of ice, which made them, the emperors, feel the cold. The other party must be the emperor. They didn't care to think about it at all. At the same time, ice crystals fell from the sky, like snowflakes, it flashed with crystal luster, incomparably peaceful and beautiful, but the cold-blooded murderous intent, wherever it went, was frozen for thousands of miles, even the power could be easily frozen. Soon, there was heavy snow. It was the cold winter season, but it was a winter scene. It's the law of ice. This sudden change made the Jun family ancestors feel strange. Could it be the Chen family's ancestor? It's possible. Who are you? If you show up. He immediately asked the void, dare to interfere in the affairs of their Jun family, even if it is the law of ice, they are not afraid at all even if they join forces. However, as soon as they finished speaking, they didn't even notice the shadow of the other party, and the law came again. Swallowing law. Inner horror. Who is it that actually controls two kinds of law power? And the attainments are so deep. Because they sensed it most clearly. Under the cover of ice and snow, the ice and snow had the power of the devouring law, which was devouring and weakening their spiritual power and soul. They were not under control at all, this was a joint application. Playing tricks. The first ancestor of the Jun family was also angry and was afraid of the other party, but they were also soft persimmons that could be manipulated at will. The law of the Lord of Heaven, that the Lord of Heaven tried to break the influence of the other party's law, and this law is the law of momentum, using momentum to communicate with the way of heaven, not the law of attribute power. Soon, the first ancestor of the Jun family was sweating profusely, because his law of the Lord of Heaven was useless and completely broken. This also shows that the other party is much stronger than him. At least the 6th level of the Emperor realm. The faces of the other ancestors changed drastically. The first ancestor's law of the Lord of Heaven was useless. What kind of person is the other party? Fear in the heart. The Chen family's city defense formation is already a variable, but I didn't expect that there is a bigger variable now, whether the other party is an enemy or a friend. He suddenly wanted to retreat. Go quickly. Retreat, retreat, retreat. It has been out of control, there is no other way, however, I heard. Since you are here, why are you in such a hurry to leave? Bai Fengrong appeared in front of the Jun family ancestor quietly, with Bai Fengyao beside her. Bai Fengyao finally figured it out. It turned out that she had to guard the house again. However, she was relieved when her mother was there. If it was her father, she would be relieved. Seeing Bai Fengrong, the Jun family ancestor's face changed again, extremely ugly, and he was completely out of control, and his vision began to blur. The law of charm. The soul began to be out of control and chaotic. He was dumbfounded, vomiting blood, being completely crushed. This is a problem of many people, and it is useless to resist. Who is the god who protects the Chen family? He struggled hard to look closely and was almost scared to death. Patriarch Bai Feng, please show mercy. Chapter 85, The powerful Bai Fengrong clan leader sacrifices a lucky family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 85, The powerful Bai Fengrong, the great patriarch, sacrifices a lucky family. The first ancestor of the Jun family spoke quickly. He was shocked. How could the patriarch of the ancient Phoenix clan be here? He even had the urge to curse. As a top family, he is naturally not unfamiliar. But the ancient Phoenix clan ranks among the top 3 among the ancient clans, and our Jun family is far inferior, not to mention that the great patriarch came here in person. Who would have expected it? His ancestors were also miserable. Bai Fengrong's body was crossed on the front waist, her temperament was icy and noble, and she was extremely dazzling for the occasion. She shouldn't have brought a daughter and became a deduction item. Jun family, what do you mean? That her daughter's teacher was right. Sure enough, the Jun family chose to take a risk. But at this level, it was not difficult for her to understand. The first ancestor of the Jun family quickly explained. We didn't know the patriarch was here, and we didn't mean to offend you. I'm asking you why. Bai Fengrong said, the ancestor of the Jun family was like an ice cellar, his soul was frozen, and he couldn't resist, the gap was too big. As top-level masters, the patriarch of the ancient Phoenix clan was the top of the top. According to the head effect, all of our top-level masters would have to give up. Patriarch, we are here for the Jun family. Trembling, there was no momentum of the ancestor of the family. Who knows why the mysterious ancient clan came, or the patriarch came in person, so far away. We can't afford to offend the Jun family anyway, Bai Fengrong hummed. If that's the case, then stay. Without moving at all, a light flashed in his eyes. The law of light, the destruction of light. The ancestor of the Jun family was extremely terrified. The chief of the ancient Phoenix clan was actually willing to help the Chen family. He wanted to kill them. He roared, "Clan leader! Why? Unwilling, unbelievable." They had been seeking wealth and honor, but they didn't expect to perish here. Not to mention, the Chen family's formation had not been broken in time, and the ancient Phoenix clan had never cared about worldly affairs. How could they suddenly appear? Bai Fengrong casually said, "She is my daughter, sister. And I don't represent the ancient Phoenix clan, I am just me. I am a clan leader. What does it have to do with the ancient Phoenix clan? I am a member of the Chen family now, isn't it reasonable? Don't say that I don't have martial ethics." Bai Fengyao gave her mother a look, and she felt it herself. "Mother, if you dislike me, just say it directly." At the last moment of his life, the ancestor of the Jun family looked at Bai Fengyao. "Sister. No matter how stupid you are, you know that this girl is related to the Chen family. How could it be?" And the head of the ancient Phoenix clan, did not come here on behalf of the ancient Phoenix clan, but for her sister, so, puff, he simply died with his eyes wide open. Boom! The next moment, the law of light instantly exploded and directly wiped out the emperor-level masters of the Jun family. They were reduced to ashes and no longer existed. Bai Fengyao's eyes widened. So it was right to say that my previous goal was to hang daddy, and it was reasonable because my mother was too strong. Suddenly, Bai Fengrong's body softened and she leaned on Bai Fengyao. "Mom, what's wrong with you?" Bai Fengyao asked hurriedly. Bai Fengrong cried out, "Sister, I'm too tired, carry me back." She rubbed her eyebrows with her fingers. She was really tired, and she consumed too much energy. It affects the cultivation of the mind and is not good for the body. Bai Fengyao didn't believe it. Her mother was obviously trying to trick her. How could she be tired when she was so powerful? But she still carried her mother on her back. Bai Fengrong smiled immediately. "Mom, why did you kill us? It would be better to let the master kill them." Bai Fengyao thought that she would rather watch the master kill them, and also exercise the master's combat experience. "It's too easy for mother to kill, it's boring and not very ornamental." The ancestor of the Jun family crawled out from the ground. "We thank you." Bai Fengrong's eyes widened. "Sister is for you. Why are you under such a threat here? Your master must have a harder time dealing with the Jun family. It should be a gift for your master. Although my daughter should be safe under the protection of this terrifying defensive formation. But, just in case. As a parent, it's not bad to give her master a gift. Otherwise, even if she agreed to her master, she would not have to leave, and the Jun family would leave honestly. As for offending the Jun family, it was the Jun family that offended her. The top forces have nothing to do with each other, do not interfere, and are far away from each other. What does it have to do with me? Bai Fengrong, of course, it is also to support her master a few times, seize the opportunity, and sacrifice a Jun family easily, which is equivalent to investing in her master. In other words, it may be good for her. The Jun family is obviously not qualified for her to invest. If she has to choose, she will only sacrifice herself, because she is the enemy of her master. The ancestor of the Jun family crawled out from the ground again. "Thank you from our Jun family," Bai Fengyao said, "but mother, the master does not need a gift. The master has hidden a lot of treasures behind my back." Bai Fengrong was silent. "You said that, and I want to dig it out. After all, the principles of the exercises that my daughter learned from her master are similar to the principles of practicing a law, which is extremely similar, simply amazing. It should be dug." At the same time, on the other side, it took only about a quarter of an hour for Chen and his men to destroy the Great Xia Palace. It took more than half an hour to rob treasures and collect resources and wealth. After all, moving things is a waste of time. 3,000 Holy Realm puppets can't move them all. There are too many royal treasures and a strong foundation. Chen will certainly not let go of these good things, otherwise it will only benefit others. Moreover, our Chen family cannot occupy the territory of Daxia, and then the princes and powerful people of Daxia who were in theft may also retaliate. However, I have already sent the masters of the gods and demons pavilion to wipe them out in advance. And Daxia has no one to guard it, which will only make it more chaotic and a mess. This palace is not attractive to me at all. As long as I let the Chen family appear in Daxia, my goal has been achieved. I believe that the news here will spread soon. In addition, the Hongmeng divine tree rewarded by the system is a good thing, which is tantamount to giving the Chen family more wings. Not only can it burst out the power of the peak powerhouses in the imperial realm and protect the Chen family's city, it can also produce Hongmeng Dao fruit, which is also a heaven-defying resource that allows the emperors to break through. I don't know what the Jun family is doing. The distance is too far to transmit sound. Some situations cannot be known at the first time. However, with Bai Fengrong in charge and the eldest disciple Bai Fengyao as a guarantor, there is no problem. Tianyuan, where are we going now? Emperor Qi Yao glanced at Chen, thinking back then, when she was 3 years old, she was a follower of her master. Now, she, the old rival of her master, has become a follower of her. Fate is playing tricks on people. I hope Xuanji doesn't know too early. Chen looked at Jun Hongzhao. Let's go to Jun's house. Jun Hongzhao's matter will be solved by the way, and it's just right to see what the attitude of the Jun family is. After all, it has been involved, so it can't be avoided. Afterwards, the star battleship headed towards the direction of the Jun family. It was also at this time, ding, detect the top alien luck power Tianjiao. Triggering task, accept an alien disciple. Reward, 3 emperor puppets. What? Alien disciples. Chen was confused, but it did not prevent from being tempted by the system reward. Could still distinguish clearly, then he released his perception and covered the world. Soon, he found some figures. It seemed that was still watching in the dark. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target type, mix. Chapter 86 3 Disciples from Other Worlds. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 86 The 3 Disciples from Other Worlds. Elder of the clan, this world seems to be much weaker than our eternal world. Somewhere, a woman said in embarrassment, they were hunted down in the eternal world, forced into a desperate situation and fled into a chaotic place. They arrived here inexplicably and discovered a new continent. He was scarred because of it, but no matter what, he managed to save his life. Let's figure out this next step. The old man had been wary of Dezhou. Your Highness, your perception is correct. The level of this world is slightly smaller, and it seems that it is impossible to give birth to a god-level powerhouse. In this way, we will not be in danger. As for this place, I am afraid that it has just experienced a battle between the top forces in the world. Judging from the aura, it does not appear to be higher than the 5th level of the Emperor realm. Dot is a super strong person at the 9th level of the Imperial realm. If there was no god here, would almost be said to be an invincible existence. Forming your own force is a piece of cake. Then he sighed, unfortunately, if the way of heaven in this world cannot help us become gods, it will be difficult to return to the eternal world. Not to mention that going back is just a send-off, even leaving is a problem, unless finds that there is in a similar place of time and space chaos when came. Ling Zhoshua looks very ugly. This world is a bit weak. How will she take revenge in the future? Good luck, not so good, but there seems to be no other way. Elder of the clan, let's settle here first. Her family is ruined, and she is destined to live with hatred. Yes, Your Highness Princess. As soon as the old man finished speaking, his face turned cold. When he noticed that the passing warship had stopped, he quickly reminded, Your Highness, the enemy has discovered us. Do you need me to take action? They came from the eternal world and just passed by here, and they had no other meaning. But if the other party has a purpose, we will definitely not show mercy. Elder of the clan, you are new here, there is no need to make enemies for yourself. Ling Zhoushue's eyes flashed. Let's look at the situation. If chooses to join the forces in the lower world and get shelter, it might not be a bad thing. The old man didn't say much. After all, we have two. Even if is at the 9th level of the Imperial realm, it is still clear that a strong dragon cannot overpower a local snake. There is heaven outside the sky, and there is outside the world. Soon, the battleship approached. Emperor Qi Yao immediately increased his vigilance. Looking at these two people, she could not detect the old man's cultivation, which seemed to be very strong. I don't know why Xuanhuan came here specially, and Chen he flew off the battleship, glanced at the two men and said directly, "Who are you two fellow Taoists, alien? 80% from other worlds. This thing is worthy of interest for. As for accepting a disciple, it depends on fate. After all, rewards are rewards. If you don't understand the origin and purpose of the other party, you won't operate easily. The main thing is that this old man's aura is a bit dangerous and very strong." The old man narrowed his eyes. "The other party doesn't know where we are from, so we need to find someone to borrow. We are a reclusive family going out. We are passing by here. Is there something wrong with you, that such a young, 3rd-level Emperor-level expert has shown such fighting power just now? TSK, not bad. This world seems like a crouching tiger, hidden dragon." At the same time, Ling Zhoushuе did not speak, but was also scanning Chen. He is very young, but he is in the realm of a great emperor, and he is also among the peerless geniuses in the eternal world. He won't admit it easily when he sees the other person, and Chen is not persistent. However, I still jumped back and forth to test. It turns out that there is a powerful force in the hidden world. I see you two are slightly unfamiliar, and you think they are from another world. That's my shallowness. As soon as these words came out, the teammate Emperor Qi Yao was stunned at first. Another world? And the old man Ling Zhoushue's eyelids twitched. How did you know? Your Majesty, why don't you say it directly? The old man was a little confused. Could it be that he knew something? Otherwise, why would you say such a thing? Moreover, the other party should be aware that S cultivation level is more powerful, but they are not afraid at all, otherwise they would not call themselves I one by one. Aren't you afraid of being beaten? I'm better than you. Could it be that this boy is from the largest force in the lower world? We are new here, so it is more reasonable to be careful and avoid inexplicable accidents. And Chen smiled, then looked at Ling Zhoushuе. I think she has a good destiny, she loves talents, and she has the intention of accepting a disciple. But now it seems that she has a teacher for a long time, so I am arrogant. Take on a disciple. Emperor Qi Yao was confused as a teammate. He never expected that Xuanhuan would have such thoughts. How old are you? You are recruiting disciples everywhere. Don't you look old? And the old man was much more profound, and he never expected to encounter such a thing. Who in this world is qualified to accept Her Highness the Princess as a disciple? Although Chen's talent is incredible, he ultimately lacks time and experience. He is too young and is not qualified. Your Majesty's kindness. However, before he finished speaking, he saw Her Royal Highness the Princess kneeling down, and her eyes suddenly bulged. Master is here, I bow to my disciple. Disciple Ling Zhoushue has not learned from me. Ling Zhoushue looked at Chen and took the initiative to express it. If such a talented person is brought back to the eternal world, his talents will definitely be revealed. It seems that she is apprenticing as a disciple, but in fact, she is recruiting talents for herself. It doesn't matter if they are traitors, because they are new here and there seems to be no better choice to form a bond. Okay. Chen was immediately satisfied. From now on, you are my third disciple. That this is still easy. Just try it a few times and you can do it. Then you can study it. Back then, Xiaoyang was so rebellious that he had to be beaten away by Qilin. This one doesn't seem to have any rebelliousness. Ding, the alien disciple was successfully recruited. Congratulations to the host for the reward, 3 Emperor-level puppets. Yes, Master. Ling Zhoushue didn't care at all. He didn't care which disciple it was. He just wanted to poach the master. Emperor Qi Yao was speechless. Is that all? What's going on? There is obviously a stronger emperor-level master beside this woman. But from this point of view, it means that this woman is the master. It's hard to believe that the other party has any identity. How could Xuanhuan notice it? The old man called the princess careless. But it seems that there is no way to stop it. It's better not to fight directly. That person is not afraid at all, he said in a deep voice. Sir, I have something to remind you. Your Highness is a valuable person. Your Highness's behavior is tantamount to exposing that you are the servant. You might as well show your cards and remind the other party not to have other thoughts. When Chen heard this, he imagined a scene of a wandering princess of a fallen country. He didn't care, he said. Zhou, follow me to Jun's house. You had already realized that Ling Zhou was the master. It would not be easy to have a powerful emperor as a servant, but this wave is not a loss, not to exaggerate or blacken. Not only are 3 emperor puppets rewarded to work, but there is also a more powerful emperor who comes with it. No matter how you look at it, it is not a loss. Yes, master. Ling Zhou didn't expect the master to teach her anything or guide her. You just need to poach the master. As for the Jun family, she didn't know about it, so she definitely wouldn't ask. At the same time, the whole Jun family was in an uproar. The 5 emperor-level ancestors who went out all died outside. Their life cards were broken, and none of them came back. This is not to say that my heart is bleeding, but my heart is directly exploding. Jun Judao's face was extremely pale, and he collapsed on the ground. What's wrong? Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 87 The Desperate Jun Family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 87 Despair Jun Family. For this gambling, they sent out 5 great emperors. That's not a cabbage, they are definitely peak powerhouses. Even if the Chen family has something, it shouldn't be difficult for them to leave together. Who can stop them? But now, all of them have fallen. The Jun family's luck has fallen directly from the peak to the abyss. Who is interfering? Jun Judao gritted his teeth. His face was ferocious, but his heart was dead. This hasn't even met the Chen family. It's already like this. The information can't be wrong. The Chen family's ancestor and Emperor Qi Yao are both in the Great Xia Palace. There must be something that is completely unpredictable. At the same time, fear spread in my heart. The end of failure will be miserable. The remaining ancestor of the Jun family is under great pressure. This means that he alone can't stop it, and the Jun family can't stop it. In this way, once the ancestor of the Chen family knows about it, he will definitely not let them go easily. Master, we are defeated. The winner is the king and the loser is the bandit. No matter what, the incident happened suddenly, and no one expected it. The loss of an emperor-level ancestor is a serious injury, and now it is equivalent to cutting off the head. The Jun family, let alone whether it is qualified to become an ancient family, whether it can survive or not is an unknown, a death warrant. Master, it's not good. A guard ran in a panic. The Great Xia Palace has been breached, and the Chen family warships are heading towards our Jun family. What? Jun Judao's eyes widened. How could it be so fast? The foundation of the Great Xia dynasty can't even last for half a day. Doesn't that mean that it's okay for the Jun family to go? In this case, it means that it's a dead end from the beginning. The Chen family's ancestor has reached this point. Master, no matter what, we have to fight to the death. The Jun family's ancestor almost vomited blood. This is purely because they forced themselves into a dead end. There is nothing wrong with their plan, but someone helped the Chen family rise. And the power is so great that it is enough to make them despair. Jun Judao knows it. The family was destroyed, and he felt sad. But such a destruction made him extremely unwilling. All disciples will integrate immediately. Guard the home. Not as good as others, admit it. But being easily wiped out and becoming a stepping stone for the Chen family, absolutely not admit it. On the Xingqian battleship, Chen Fan stood with his hands behind his back. I didn't expect that there would be unexpected gains on this trip. There are clues. Maybe I can learn a lot from the third disciple, and the system prompt is proof that there are other worlds, but the strong people of the ancient continent cannot escape the way of heaven and leave this world easily. As for the old man in the Emperor realm beside the third disciple, he is certainly not afraid. The Hongmeng Divine Tree will be unlocked, just wave the Hongmeng Divine Tree and use the tree to stand, and the world will have it. Even if Bai Fengrong comes, she will be defeated and beaten, so, he floated slightly. Of course, it's not a big problem. As for what the Jun family has in mind, they have to hold it in. This time, the expansion and harvest are qualitative changes. And Ling Zhouxue didn't say much, just poached the master. If there is a chance to return to the eternal realm in the future, she will help the master obtain the god-level skills and magical powers. With those things, the master will become stronger and stronger. And the master's strength is a help to her. The master must be trained. Because the master's talent is buried here. Then he whispered, Elder, if there is any dispute on this trip, you help the master to suppress everything. She is not stupid. The master is not going home, it looks like he is going to the hostile forces. In this way, helping the master is the disciple's job, and the elder is obviously more powerful than the master. The old man hummed, yes, princess. On the contrary, they have already left the eternal realm. If there is no accident, it is not difficult to get along well in this world. Since Her Royal Highness is willing to become a disciple hastily, he only needs to go with the flow and maintain this relationship. Jun Hongzhao's heart is mixed. She knows in her heart that the emperor did not come to the Jun family for her. It is because the Jun family is involved with the great Xia dynasty, and the connection is bound to have an impact. She was a proud daughter of heaven, but now, she is the maid of the emperor. Come on, she will soon serve the emperor. Then she looked in one direction, her face became a little cold. Soon, they arrived at the Jun family. Jun Jiudao was in the air. Chen family ancestor, why did you come to the Jun family? That it hurts. Too much. He didn't show it yet, just pretended not to know and questioned, but when he saw Chen Fan, he really understood that this Chen family ancestor was really young, and he was naturally familiar with the Emperor Qiao next to him. Jun Hongzhao is here. As for the others, he couldn't recognize them. Chen Fan glanced casually. Why should the master of the Jun family be polite to me? I killed a few strong men from your Jun family and came to pay a visit. Such a big preparation. What is the Jun family feeling guilty about? As for whether the Jun family will take action, we will know after a test. Jun Jiudao's scar was exposed, and his face was extremely ugly. Chen family ancestor, is it just for this matter? Then there is no need to bother so much. The great Xia dynasty is not under the control of the Chen family, so the Jun family naturally dare not offend. He didn't want to do it, but without the key confidence of the Emperor realm strongmen, it meant that there was no choice. In this case, then the head of the Jun family, it's time for us to settle the account. Chen Fan immediately tried to test it, but since the Jun family was not a teammate, he would do whatever he wanted. Wait. Jun Jiudao hurriedly stopped. The Chen family ancestor wanted to kill the 5th level emperor. There was no strong man in their Jun family to stop him. Why is the Chen family ancestor so aggressive? Then he immediately looked at Jun Hongzhao. Jun Hongzhao, as a disciple of the Jun family, are you the culprit of the family's destruction? That the great Xia dynasty was wiped out by the Chen family ancestor. In this case, it seems that Jun Hongzhao is useless, but running to the Chen family, what's the matter? Of course he is delaying time. The Chen family ancestor came too fast. Chen Fan was stunned. This attention diversion method is so good, his eyes flashed. The Jun family is empty. Otherwise, as an ancient family, how could they have such an attitude? So, hearing this, Jun Hongzhao's delicate body trembled. He looked at Chen Fan again, and after getting his consent, he looked at Jun Jiudao. He said coldly, since you forced me into Daxia, I am no longer a member of the Jun family. How can you talk about the culprit? How dare you? It's reasonable to make sacrifices for the family, how can you talk about forcing me? It's simply nonsense. Jun Jiudao said angrily. He knew that Jun Hongzhao was so powerful and had the support of the Chen family that he dared to talk to him like this. But he didn't know why the ancestor of the Chen family would accept Jun Hongzhao. Was it just because she was the little queen of the emperor of Daxia? Jun Hongzhao smiled bitterly. When the Jun family got the handle of Daxia, they used this as an excuse to impose it on the emperor of Daxia, trying to achieve the family's goal. At that time, I was regarded as a member of the Jun family, but just a chess piece. In fact, she couldn't keep up with the rhythm. I thought that entering the Chen family would just be a chance to turn things around. I never expected it to happen so quickly. It was like a dream. Chapter 88. Where did the Chen family ancestor find help? You are listening at novelfull.audio. That's for your own good. It's your honor to be the future queen of the Xia dynasty. Jun Jiudao was very angry. Jun Hongzhao was also trying to smooth things over. She was completely obedient, and he didn't know where she got such rebelliousness and resentment from. For my own good. Then why did you let your daughter go? Jun Hongzhao was a little upset. I am also the daughter of my parents. My parents died of depression because of this. Just because I was born in a noble family, just because I have some talent, just because I have some beauty. You can use me as a bargaining chip at will. Jun Jiudao's face was ugly. If it were normal, Jun Hongzhao would never dare to talk to him like this. He couldn't refute it. It was just a strong move, out of control. Jun Hongzhao continued to vent his emotions. Now, Xiaoxia is broken. And I, and Xiaoxia have officially severed my relationship. From now on, I have nothing to do with the Jun family. Showdown. Whoever can give me happiness I will follow. You. Rebellious against the family, no loyalty, your crime should be killed. Jun Jiudao was furious. This rebelliousness is ordinary. I am just a small person, just trying to survive in the cracks, don't mention family loyalty. I, Jun Hongzhao, don't deserve it. Jun Hongzhao also knew this truth, but she did it, but she was also afraid of death. She just obeyed the arrangement of fate. This feeling is no different from being more disgusting than betrayal and death. You. Jun Jiudao's eyes flickered. If you are afraid of the ancestor of the Chen family, you must clean up the family. Chen was silent. If you want to talk about this kind of thing, I know it. The Chen family has thousands of undercover agents, and there are also many traitors among them, who have been wiped out before. The Chen family can tolerate Hui disciples with ulterior motives. Master Jun Hongzhao is now a member of my Chen family. Ask your Jun family ancestor to see me, otherwise, I don't mind taking action myself. It's best to get out. If you come out, there is no need for the Jun family to keep him. Because, that means that the Jun family sent people to steal the house, and there is no second possibility. Of course, he is not worried at all, so he is not anxious at all. Hearing this, Jun Jiudao broke through the defense directly, and my Jun family ancestor has fallen, and you still asked me to call him to see you. In this way, the ancestor of the Chen family came directly to the Jun family, and did not go back at all, and was not worried about the Chen family's troubles at all. Her Highness Princess and her master, why do you have to do it yourself? Let me do it. The old man took a step forward. His expression was ordinary, even with disdain. Since the decision has been made, there is no need to hesitate. He knows a truth very well, loyalty is priceless. Coming here, with power, he should show it without any burden. Chen looked at it. The efficiency is quite high. This is it. Who are you? Jun Jiudao has never seen this person before. His eyes were alert, however. Get out. The old man yelled in anger, and then a monstrous pressure was pressed down, and the imperial power belonging to the 9th-level emperor realm was rolling down. Bang! The next moment, he directly slapped the Jun family's protective formation to pieces. It was broken layer by layer, and all exploded, and the energy supply was gone, and the formation eye and formation base turned into nothingness. Jun Jiudao was stunned by the shouting and was also stunned by the shock. Great, but where did the Chen family ancestor find help? To be able to easily break the layers of defense formations of their Jun family, it must be at least the top level of the late emperor realm. He was extremely frightened. What am I still preparing for? What a waste of time, vomiting blood. Chen was also stunned. If he wanted to break the formation, he must mobilize people. The Jun family is worse than the Xia dynasty. He must make sure that he has no losses before he can be arrogant. However, is this the joy of the top-level beating people? Completely without any scruples. Sure enough, strength can break everything, and the old man said, and directly grabbed him with one hand, a mere ant at the peak of the holy realm, that after being locked, Jun Jiudao was completely unable to move, and the terrifying imperial power made him feel like he was in an ice cellar. The next second, he was pinched by the old man. The old man paid no attention to Jun Jiudao's feelings and released a terrifying aura. Jun family ancestor, come quickly to see our princess and her master, otherwise, this person will definitely die. The thunderous sound shook out, and the disciples of the Jun family were directly knocked down. This is the power of the law of shock. It can easily shock the soul of a cultivator, and he can sense that there is an emperor in the Jun family, but there is only one, and he has no intention at all, and Jun Jiudao was directly stupid, and he couldn't speak, full of suffocation and despair. Jun family, who are you provoking? Everything seems so ridiculous. Chen's face turned cold, and he immediately waved his hand, and an emperor puppet appeared, along with more than 1,000 saint puppets, because of the previous loss. Evacuate the Jun family. He ordered immediately, without the formation to protect him. He could sense that there was only one ancestor of the Jun family, so the result was obvious. For a moment, countless densely packed beings started fighting again. Wherever they went, there were ruins and dead souls. Jun Jiudao couldn't believe it, and looked at it with difficulty. There were so many terrifying auras. There was only one emperor-level ancestor in our Jun family. Why so many? It was no wonder that Xia fell so quickly, and the ancestor of the Chen family would definitely not take their Jun family seriously. They never took it seriously. The previous gambling was all self-righteous, and they took it for granted that their Jun family was just a clown. Unfortunately, everything is too late. It is also possible to count on Jun Hongzhao to save the Jun family. When the old man saw this, he smashed Jun Jiudao with one palm. It seems that he knows something clearly, so Jun Jiudao has no need to keep it. As for these puppets of Her Royal Highness the Princess and her master, he had noticed them before. He didn't take it seriously, because a puppet in the Holy Realm could put pressure on a powerful person of the first level of the Emperor. But here, no matter what, they were both emperors, so the gap was just as big. It was just the emperor-level puppet that impressed him with admiration. In the Imperial Realm, even if it is a puppet, it is definitely not ordinary. Master Du Miaoer, the ancestor of the Jun family who was preparing, was heartbroken when he saw such a scene. How could it be so fast? When he saw the countless strong breaths, his voice became hoarse. Is my Jun family violating the rules of heaven? Destruction comes so quickly. The old man's face turned cold. Shock. One word pierces the void. The ancestor of the Jun family couldn't believe it. Who is it? This person is extremely strong. Then he was directly shaken to ashes. He has passed the imperial level and is completely an opponent. He is not even qualified to be an opponent. Ling Zhouxue watched silently. There are clan elders helping master, no problem, but she was curious about her master's family and background. Chen was very satisfied with this meeting gift for his disciple. Without the disciple to speak, this old man might take action easily. Soon, the Jun family was destroyed. Only a very short time passed before Xia was destroyed. The Xia dynasty was destroyed by the Chen family. The Jun family was also destroyed by the Chen family. It happened so quickly that the entire ancient continent was shocked. All the top forces were in disbelief and were in commotion. The Chen family became famous all over the country in an instant. And Chen also officially announced that the Chen family ranks among the most ancient families. Those who are convinced can challenge. In a short period of time, the Chen family was built into a powerful family and reached the top, with an unstoppable foundation and future. Chen also began to retreat behind the scenes and began to live in retirement. Day 1, plant trees. plant the Hongmeng sacred tree to protect the Chen family. Like the branches at the top of the clouds, they cover the sky and stretch for miles. Hongmeng sacred tree. Ling Zhoushui was stunned. Reasonable. How come there is such a thing here? Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix. Chapter 89 Chen Fan begins retirement. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Zhoushui's beautiful eyes were blazing as she looked at the sacred tree that covered the sky and the sun. In disbelief, when I returned to Master's hometown for the first time, I realized that the Chen family was not a power that had suddenly appeared recently. The Master's background is not that of the top power in the world. He started from scratch. The number one in his family tree is. It's different from what we thought before. Of course, it doesn't matter to them, it doesn't matter which top force they settle in. But there are not only divine crystal veins here, but also the Hongmeng divine tree. Chen Fan finished planting the tree aside and said, Zhou Shui, it seems that you know about this Hongmeng sacred tree. So, which world are you from? That the third disciple is very knowledgeable, so he should study it, of course, was the only one who planted trees in front of the third disciple alone. Gigi. After hearing this, Ling Zhoushui realized that she seemed to be too excited and exposed, but they were tricked by the master. After all, the master had suspected that they were from another world. He said awkwardly, Master, to be honest, I and the clan elder are indeed not from this world, but I come from a place called the Eternal Realm. To tell you honestly, Master is not simple. It seems unnecessary to hide it. Moreover, there are divine crystal veins and Hongmeng divine tree here, which is an unexpected surprise for us. Might as well cultivate to the divine realm and take revenge. Your right to be a disciple, your right to come. Divine crystal veins are relatively common in the eternal world, but the value of the Hongmeng divine tree is absolutely difficult to estimate. The eternal world. Chen Fan secretly thought that it was indeed the case, but he didn't know how mysterious this world is. Ling Zhoushui nodded, Master, there is a divine realm above the imperial realm. This disciple comes from a divine dynasty in the eternal world. The divine dynasty was assassinated by evil-minded people, and his family was destroyed. He had no choice but to flee. By chance, he and his clan come here. She looked a little uncomfortable. But now, she saw hope. There is heaven outside the sky, there are people outside people, and there is a world outside the small world. Chen Fan sighed. Zhou Shui, you can just stay at the Chen family for now. As for the future, how about we discuss it later? Let's not talk about what this eternal world is like, but it sounds like I can't go there for the time being. Let's just live in peace and quiet first. Master, this disciple knows. Ling Zhoushui responded quickly, looking at it this way, it becomes even more important to poach the master. The master is not only mysterious, but he is also about the same age as her. What is the level of your current practice? Chen Fan asked casually. The third disciple is in his early 20s, 2 years younger than, his cultivation level is unnoticeable, and he is at the third level of Taoist Palace. Even stronger than the reborn master, he has absolutely unparalleled qualifications. You must figure out how to cultivate good students. Ling Zhoushui was a little helpless. Master is practicing god-level skills. However, because of the destruction of the divine dynasty, the skills are not complete, and the second half of the skills are not in. Chen Fan hummed and threw the Tiandao Ju of order over. This is a complete magical skill. Maybe you can try to practice it and make some changes. The exercises can help speed up cultivation, but the incompleteness will obviously have a serious impact. After all, the level of cultivation of monks is constantly improving. God-level skills. Ling Zhoushui took it and glanced at it. Thank you, Master, that it feels like Master is not like a person from this world. Could it be that he is from another world like them? After all, various steps have been demonstrated, and even God-level skills are shown. For her, it's like sending snow to the coal mine. This made her even more certain that she must poach Master. Chen Fan smiled and said, "Go down and practice." Next, the appearance of the third disciple, Chen family, is the so-called battle between geniuses. So will definitely be a qualified master, teach and train with all his strength. Master. Ling Zhoshua left with a bit of excitement. Chen Fan's retirement life has officially begun. Nurture, all kinds of nurturance. As for myself, I just need to move my fingers, sit in the Chen family, sign in and out, or go exploring. This time the Xia dynasty and the Jun family were destroyed, which was enough for the Chen family to take the opportunity to take power, take advantage of your luck and become the top ancient family. As for the domain conditions, that's no problem at all. The Xia dynasty is gone. Just notify them casually. With just one word, you can control several realms effortlessly. Other small forces don't dare to fart. There is no need for to do it in person, just give instructions, but at the beginning of the construction, will not be greedy. Occupying territory, there are not enough people, and is useless. It is already a bit difficult for the Chen family members to manage various industries in Tianyuan domain and penetrate into several surrounding Dao domains. The number of clan members is far less than that of other ancient families, but the problem is not the same. As for the words of thanks, has already told S disciple and her own mother. With this relationship, is guaranteed. Not to mention the free workers brought by the third disciple, which is very delicious. You need to retire with peace of mind. The ancestor who retired the fastest in history started to develop behind the scenes. Comfortable, at this time Emperor Chia walked over with his long jade legs and said seriously, "Tianyuan. I like you and want to give you a child." Chen Fan looked over confusedly. "What misunderstanding do you have about me?" The appearance of the Hongmeng sacred tree, such divine objects, makes the entire Chen family's huge city seem to have added a lot of mystery. Bai Fengrong and Bai Fengyao were sitting on the grass, blowing in the wind, and reading together. One book, the Invincible chapter of the essential book for becoming an emperor, creates an invincible emperor. Another book, the dream chapter of the essential book for becoming a god. Becoming a god is not just a dream. They even whispered to each other, after noticing. "Mom, look, I heard that master hid many treasures behind my back. This tree is so tall, it looks extraordinary." Bai Fengyao's face was serious. After learning that she had another junior sister who was stronger than her, she felt that she, as a senior sister, should work harder. Bai Fengrong was a little confused. Of course, she realized that the power of the Hongmeng divine tree was not simple, beyond her level. Add to that the divine crystal vein. The book is right, becoming a god is not just a dream, it is untouchable. Now, there is a chance to touch the edge. Whether or not she can achieve the god mentioned in the book is still an unknown. Then she glanced at Bai Fengyao. "Sister, what do you think of your master?" That it's time for the elder sister to be more important than the younger sister. See if her master is good. Bai Fengyao was so smart that she felt that her mother was going to trick her when she heard this. She looked straight at her and said, "Mom, your master is very good." "Then what do you think of your master?" Then she immediately made a sharp turn. Bai Fengrong narrowed her eyes. "Sister, I think your master is not right. How can it be as easy to cultivate as drinking water?" "No, it's not right, your master must be not right." Bai Fengyao nodded immediately. The two of them stared at each other. The Chen family's thunderous momentum swept across the world. The entire ancient continent was in turmoil. The ancient families and dynasties are naturally very concerned. However, in the region, they have nothing to do with the Chen family, so they will not confront each other head-on. They will not provoke them for no reason, so as not to cause trouble for themselves, but in other aspects, they can still have friction. Secretly, the fight between the younger generation of Tianjiao is also a manifestation of the family's heritage and luck. At this time, ancient Phoenix clan. Did the Chen family destroy the Xia and Jun families? Chapter 90 The Greatest Ancient Family, the Greatest Dynasty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Many clan leaders were dumbfounded. They were shocked. It's only been a short time, that it's just a small clan. Even if a powerful emperor was born, they would not look down on it, but it was this small clan that easily destroyed two top forces. It became a top family. It reached the top in one step. you should know that the great Xia dynasty and the Jun family are not cabbages. It seems that the Chen family, apart from its background, can also rank among the top ancient families in terms of strength. Their ancient Phoenix clan can naturally do it easily. The top ancient families and dynasties are only one level lower than their ancient Phoenix clan, but they can also do it. What is shocking is that a family that has just started has done it. This is nothing short of unbelievable. For a while, they looked at each other in bewilderment. We can't accept being slapped in the face. It's just that they destroyed the great Xia dynasty and the Jun family. In terms of foundation, the Chen family still has a long way to go, and it is definitely impossible for them to go smoothly. That's right. If the descendants fail to continue the strength, it will only be a short-lived glory. There are many families with such cases. That makes sense, and it's right. The ancestor of the Chen family is alone after all. Some of his methods can only treat the symptoms but not the root cause. If there are no descendants and brothers in the family with strong luck, it's just so. What's more, claiming to be an ancient family overnight, rising to prominence, and trying to compete with the old families is too arrogant and a provocation. Let's just watch the fun. As a top ancient family, they naturally didn't take it seriously. It's just that the Chen family is more outstanding and has some connection with the goddess, which attracts attention. Otherwise, they wouldn't even look at it under normal circumstances. We'll wait and see. By the way, where's the chief? No need to guess. With this happening, the chief must be concerned about the goddess and went to the Chen family. That's fine. When the chief sees it clearly, he will naturally bring the goddess back. In fact, they were a little depressed. If the Chen family's ancestor was not well known, it would be fine for the goddess to worship him as her master. After all, no one knew about it, but the Chen family's ancestor was famous on the continent, and everyone would always know about this relationship. From this point of view, it seemed that there was no one in their ancient Phoenix clan, and the goddess went to worship someone from another family as her master. It was a joke. Obviously, the Chen family took a big advantage, but the goddess was willful, and the chief was very protective of her, so they could only stare blankly. It was really impossible to beat her. Even if they joined forces, they might not be the opponent of the chief. The ancient Phoenix clan also had to rely on the chief to be a powerful force at the forefront of the ancient clans. Zhongzhou, this is the most central part of the ancient continent, and it is also the place with the richest regional resources. There are countless strong people, and the top strong people are much more than other states. The Wang family, the largest ancient family in the ancient continent, and the Diluo Qing dynasty, the largest dynasty, are both located here. A balance of power has been formed in the region, so it can appear to be extremely harmonious and long-lasting on the surface. At this moment, in the Wang family, what kind of power does this Chen family have? The current head of the family, Wang Teng, stood with his hands behind his back. Such a thing happened in the ancient continent, and as the head of the ancient family, he was naturally more concerned, although there is no involvement and no conflict, and I don't want to provoke. But being in this position, you are destined to be unable to get around it. Don't ask if you have to fight for the position of the first family. It seems that the emperors and strong men everywhere are also willing to accept the unspoken rules and become kings of all sizes. Not only that, all levels, including the bottom, are the same. The Chen family has just come out and is like this. If they are allowed to grow, won't they one day climb over the heads of their Wang family? They are very clear about the principle of preparing for a rainy day. Master, it is hard to say whether the Chen family has a foundation when it suddenly appears. Perhaps it is just a flash in the pan. The ancestor of the Wang family next to him said, too fast also has disadvantages, that is, the foundation is unstable. Some things cannot be judged by the surface, it can only show that the Chen family is too young and too anxious. The principle of cutting off the first bird to stick out is well known to everyone in the ancient continent, not to mention that the rise of the Chen family is well known to everyone. Isn't it a way to stand out and attract the attention of major top forces? Wang Ting didn't know what he was thinking. Whether it is a flash in the pan or not, being able to destroy the great Xia dynasty and the Jun family so easily has already shown that the Chen family is quite powerful. Being ranked among the ancient families, it is enough to step into the top 4. It is enough for us to be on guard, that their Wang family has an 8-level emperor ancestor sitting in the palace, which is slightly worse than the ancient clan. Naturally, it can also do this so easily. There is also a certain possibility for the top of other ancient families, but it may not be so easy. Don't underestimate this point, which reflects the difference in strength. So it may become a threat, and we can't be careless. The ancestor of the Wang family nodded. Indeed, we have to guard against it. Even if the Chen family may be a flash in the pan, after all, the power is still there. Wang Ting looked arrogant. Let's ignore it for now. My son Wang shouting, the talent of the emperor. The younger generation is competing, and my Wang family should be the first. He was just happy some time ago. At that time, a strange phenomenon fell from the sky, and all the tribes came to worship. This was a sign of the prosperity of the family's fortune. As an old father, he was so excited that he didn't worry about the family's prosperity. The ancestor of the Wang family was silent. He was tired of hearing the head of the family bragging recently. But the young master is indeed a genius. He has all kinds of physical constitutions, bloodlines, accompanying skills and supernatural powers. The future is limitless. It's a pity that he is still a baby and needs to grow up under the protection of the family. By the way, 6th ancestor. My son is my son, and we have to prepare in advance for the ancient family competition. Wang Ting said. The Chen family will definitely not be absent at that time. The major forces have no grudges, so they will naturally not kill each other. But in order to PK a big or small king, there are still ordinary competitions. The Continental Grand Event will be held every once in a while. It is to line up secretly. This includes the comprehensive strength of the top forces, the strong family background and financial resources, and the great road competition of the younger generation. Hearing this, the ancestor of the Wang family nodded. Master, that's natural. He knew that this was to deal with the sudden appearance of the Chen family, and the master wanted to target it specifically. As the saying goes, the first bird that comes out must be cut. There is no need to deal with the so-called deterrence openly, but the Wang family is in the first position among the ancient families, and it still cannot be shaken. Of course, this is a grand event between the ancient families, and it has nothing to do with other top forces. At the same time, the Diluo dynasty, as the most powerful dynasty among the 10 dynasties, the neighboring Great Xia dynasty was sacrificed by a small family that suddenly rose, which naturally attracted their attention. Emperor Diluo didn't care much. This was a family dispute. As one of the royal families, they naturally wouldn't put too much thought into it, but, the Great Xia dynasty was destroyed, and they should be wary of the Chen family's thoughts. Will there be a day when the Chen family doesn't want to be a noble family anymore, and will announce to the world that they are the first royal family with the blood of the Chen family, and willfully win over small families and regions? After all, the vacancy of the dynasty is also a loophole in the palace.